Have you ever wanted more pleasure in your life? You're in the right space. Hey, it's Rachel, and I've been in intimacy coaching for 11 years, which has inspired me to do a series every single month talking about ways to incorporate pleasure into your everyday life. But I did it all sneaky because most of those months had nothing to do with pleasure. It's about building intimacy, which can lead to pleasure. Okay. Now, the month of December, what I decided to do was actually talk about things, in my opinion, I feel like are really hindering humans from having the best relationships possible. Okay. And today what I want to talk about is forgiveness. This is something that I preach very heavily in one-to-one sessions as well as my empowerment class. Now, listen, if you haven't already scrolled, forgiveness, which is clichély said to, I'm sure you've heard this, is not about forgiving the person's behavior. I said that backwards because it kind of is. It's about not excusing the person's behavior. That's important. I'm sorry. It's not to say what they did was not wrong, because it probably was, especially if it validated something for you around your beliefs or feelings. Okay. That's true. But what forgiveness is it's permission for you to not take things personally. I used this in a previous example, like when your boyfriend cheats on you, that has nothing to do with you. Unless you actively said, like, you're a piece of shit, I can't stand you, like, who do you think you are? You'll never amount to anything in this relationship. You've done nothing wrong to send your partner off to cheat on you. That's not what this is about. What this becomes is the separation. Whereas, why wasn't I good enough? Why would he do this to me? I always gave him everything he wanted. You're making that about you. You're making it personal that you weren't good enough, that he had to cheat on you, and you need to separate that. When you can see, oh, my partner's got problems. Respectfully, my partner does not know his value, his worth. There, I should say they, because everybody cheats, right? But when you can't separate that that's something that they are dealing with themselves, you will blame yourself every time. That's so important to be able to separate. I forgive that person for operating as an unhealed human. I forgive that person for not recognizing the programming they had around their parenting. Their dad was never present. Their mom always cheated. Whatever it may be, they can't see the correlation to that's how they think relationships work. This is true of anything and everything, but we also need to have forgiveness for ourselves. I've said some pretty shitty things to some pretty amazing humans in my life. I even talked about that in this series here in particular. I have said I'm sorry to so many people, but not enough. I have not said I'm sorry to myself as often as I should. I'm sorry I didn't know any better. I'm sorry that I blamed you, self. I'm sorry that I thought we weren't good enough. All of these things are important to give grace to yourself and your abuser. Because you don't drink poison hoping they'll die. It's never going to work that way. You ingest that poison and you keep it here. And then it hinders you from living your best life and then opening yourself up to other relationships. And you don't deserve that. Forgiveness is key. That's all I had to say. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.